Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Sandra Shepard, host of Racing the Races. How are you, ma'am? Yes, you're on the screen, Christine. That's who we see.
Hey, but where's Naomi? Oh,
She's
there.
coming on. She's coming on.
All right, awesome. We're all here. Hi,
Hey, we're
everyone.
all here. We're all here. How y'all doing?
It's been quite the past few weeks.
Yes.
I'm a little exhausted, but so blessed to be here.
Yeah, we've been getting into some good trouble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, last couple of days. Go ahead, introduce yourself to everybody. You didn't say your name, Christine, so go ahead, say your
Oh,
name
hi,
and then
everyone.
Naomi.
I'm Christine. Um, I apologize. I'm trying to recover from laryngitis, but you know,
Mhm.
it just comes and goes. I'm a community leader, and I have a cough drop. Forgive me. I'm a mess. But I'm a community advocate, and I'm here tonight to talk about the work that we've been doing and that we're going to keep doing. So
Yes,
thank you for
yes,
having me.
ma'am.
Hello, everyone. It's just a blessing to be here with you guys one more Thursday night.
Mhm.
Absolutely, as Sandra stated, we've been getting in some very, very good trouble. I am blessed to be in the company of such amazing woman, courageous woman. You know, when we talk about getting the job done, it's not what we do on the front line where people see every day, but it is really
Mhm.
about the work that is done behind the scenes,
Mhm.
how we come together, how we organize, how we literally see a problem and don't look, to the left nor to the right on who's going to fix it or who's going to come with the solution, but we literally roll up our sleeves and say, okay, it's me, it's me. It's me, and together I feel like the three of us have looked at each other and say, it's us, right? And we have been doing the work. And I'm just really excited about tonight's show and to talk about all the things that we're going to do or and have been doing, and to invite everyone to come out, because although it may not it may not be affecting you directly, but I promise you, you know what? You pick up the phone, you call your mother, you call your father, you call an uncle, someone in your family right now, whether close or far, is dealing with this TPS situation, and we do not want them to be going through it alone. We want them to be surrounded with a community that cares, that have resources, and that's sharing it.
Most definitely, we're doing that. So we're gonna let Christine like start this off because this was, so I don't know which one of y'all decided that we should even start having this show, right? So whoever it was, I know I got a call. There's that we want to do the show. I was like, let's do it, right? On the platform. So whoever's idea it was amazing, right?
I feel like I'm always the original troublemaker, right? I'm like, let's do this. And then Naomi's just like, absolutely. And she
Uh-huh.
just like pushes it
Yes.
along. I
And it's
feel like that's how
amazing.
it's going.
It's amazing. And the reason why I said that was because when I was trying to find the cover for today, like the thumbnail for today, it was one of the old flyers. And I'm like, we started doing this back in March. Like, does it fit? Yeah. We started doing
No.
this back. Yes. It's been like I was like, March. Like, is that right? But that's the date I saw this. So we've been at this like several months. And it's like real, it's interesting. Like you just start something talking. And then Christine, when they made that TPS announcement, she said, no, we got to do something, right? And it's to the point where people are calling us saying, listen, can you show up? Right. So, Christine, tell us about the kind of things that we've already done so far and just shorter in this like last 2 weeks, right? And like what we got to do like moving forward.
So I'm going to try to behave in this conversation
Okay.
because the work that we're doing could have been done. I just want to
Yeah.
say that right now.
Yeah.
It could have been done. We had an idea for a strategy session, but this was not the first time that we ever talked about this. I remember talking about this years ago when the Haitians were at the border. Naomi and I, we went down to Texas, and we were in that they had a shelter that we were going, and we were helping give the people clothes and food. And we're like, we need to get the Haitians together to sit down and set up a system for when migrants come in. How do we help them navigate through the process? Do you remember that conversation, Naomi, back in
Yes, I do.
2021?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So now here we are, 2025, and it's like, okay, we're tired of waiting for someone else to grab the ball and run with it. We're just going to do it ourselves. And we started with the strategy session. That was the first meeting, not this past Sunday, the Sunday before. And it has moved. We've been moving fast ever since. The strategy session gave birth to our Next Steps Town Hall. From the strategy session, we had attorneys, immigration attorneys, organizations, just regular everyday people with ideas. We had the Haitian consulate, the deputy consulate. We all put our ideas out there, and we created what is our next steps. And then we've been having our Next Steps Town Hall, where we are giving the information of what you should do if you are on TPS. These are our recommendations. You don't have to take them, but it's going to help you alleviate the stress and find clarity in the chaos. So I'll pass it on because I have to
Don't
keep my
pass it
words
yet. I
limited.
wanna I wanna say something. You said that they don't have to listen to our next steps. I'm gonna need them to listen to the first two next steps, right? Like
Yes.
we those are non-negotiables. Getting a consultation with an attorney and hiring investing in an attorney, those are non-negotiables because I'm in that space and I'm telling you, don't play with this. Like, don't play with this. Those are things that maybe the other stuff you might and even then, I don't think you should even play any games with that. But going to have a consultation with an attorney. We have information on places that do it for free. So if you need to do a free consultation, and then when they give you that free consultation and they tell you what they need to do for you, you need to invest that money in hiring them in order for you to even have a shot in staying in this place.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So where do I begin? Again, I just want to thank both of you just for stepping up to the plate and getting the job done. And I remember coming back from Texas, and Christine and I sitting down and saying that with the city of North Miami being the largest city with Haitian Americans and with Haitians, nationals outside of Haiti, we need to ensure that when migrants come in, we have a center, we're receiving them, we're giving them instruction, we're giving them guidance, we're giving them access to lawyers, to resources. And I remember coming back at the time and sitting down, literally getting on the mayor's calendar, sitting down with the mayor, going through the entire rundown. And I don't know, clearly it was not part of his agenda at the time. And as I'm sitting here thinking back and looking at all the things that has happened since, right? Till now, had we put up these structures, I promise you, we would not be where we are right now. We would have been so far along and advanced in this, space, immigration space. And we definitely would not be, running around trying to figure out how can we help, because we would have already known how many people need assistance to come out of TPS and find another status. Like, all of that would have already been done, and done in such a great way that we could have said, okay, pass it on to another county or another state with Haitians and say, listen, this is a great model, put it together, find the resource for it because it's going to help your people. Now, moving along, March, I remember Christine saying, okay, we need to do A, B, C, D. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I think I have a really great lawyer friend I think we can do it with. I said, let's call Sandra and let's do it on her show. And then, Sandra was so inviting, she didn't even think twice about it. And we were trying to figure out, okay, how do we incorporate it in the show that she's doing? She was like, no, girls, you guys can we'll do a whole new show on a whole different day, and you guys can do whatever you want. And here we are. Here we are. And of course, as a woman of purpose and as a woman who of faith, I truly believe that God aligns us, right, at the right time with the right people to do a specific job. And I believe that at the time when we first started doing the show in March, it was really about us meshing well together, bouncing off of one another and realizing how we can work well. And so when this issue with TPS and the revocation of it came up, when Christine said, okay, we need to do something, it was a no-brainer. We're right here. We're ready to work. Let's do it. And so this is has been such a wonderful journey. I had no idea that it was since March either. But who's keeping count? I am just excited to know that God has chosen us for such a time as this. And that's where I'm at. That's where
And,
I'm
and,
at.
and the thing is, so it was around that time because remember, from day one, there were threats by this administration to do things, right? And I believe in March was a time where he decided to cut TPS to August. Because remember, it was always February the 3rd, and he had made the previous announcement that that's when he was canceling the one for Venezuela and telling the other people they don't have it anymore. We're not gonna renew the Biden program. And that's when he first said he was gonna shut the date down to August. And they were like, dude, you can't do that. But he had said it. And that was part of the sense of urgency that we had, right? But then when that announcement came out 2 weeks ago, Kristen was like, well, just talking online ain't going to be enough. We need to come together, bring folks together and see what it is that we can actually do beyond just because you sometimes you do have to meet people where they are, right? And you have to like pull others in. So she's like, no. We need to come in, bring some people with some ideas on the table, and let's see how we can move this forward and advocate for the community. And that's how Haitian advocates, got started, right?
Yeah,
So,
Christine done push that baby out. Not everybody happy about this baby, but
but you know what? At the end of the day, I don't really care um, if you're happy or not, because this is the thing. We have work to do. This is not about ego. It's not about waiting for somebody to give us permission to do this. Do you know how many people have been so blessed because of this? This week alone, we sat, I mean, obviously the two of you were there, so it's like I'm preaching to the choir, but everyone that's watching, I want you to see that we sat in front of two different crowds this week of people that were scared. They don't even know what to expect, and we were able to ease their fears to a certain extent. But just by giving information, they just want to know. And so we're all here talking about writing this letter or doing this protest. All of that is great. But people need actual information and they're not getting it. And they're trying to get it off of TikTok and they're trying to get it off of Instagram. But they really desperately need someone to just talk to them and tell them what it is. And let me tell you something. Sandra's a star in these meetings. She's so relatable and just so funny. And she tells it to you like it is, and people laugh. And I think that that's also, it brings joy. Like in a moment where no one's laughing, it brings us joy. So thank you for that.
And so let me tell you what's great about what we're doing, right? Because one of the things, like, both of these ladies ran for office and they've heard the term trusted voices, right? They know how, when you got to have surrogates and you need to have trusted voices to get people to be on board in what you're doing. And so the events that we had today, we went to trusted voices. We went to people who have community, who like, because if we had just told them folks, yeah, come over here and come talk to us, we got some information for you, they were like, sure, you about to set us up, right? So no, we went to trusted voices and said, listen, we got this information. Can you give us the audience so we can, help them out? And we did that. And I'm telling you, like, those people were like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And they were still, even with that, some people were scared. So it's like, you know what? We'll do it on Zoom for you, right? And we had probably just as many people on the Zoom meeting as we had inside that room. But you got to find different ways to get this message out because I've gone to too many events where it's always it's always the same people in the room. We're always talking to ourselves. I'm not saying it's not important for us to talk to ourselves, but it's like, how are you getting this message out if every time I walk in the room, it's the same old people, right? So just what we're doing, we've been able to actually go directly to folks, and we've done two different things, right? We've gone to the advocates, the people that can get trained to help, and then we actually had the ability in a private setting to speak to the people that needs the help, and they were able to ask us correct questions directly. But the way we were able to do that is by going to a trusted voice that introduced us to them, and they were willing to give us the space and the time out of their days to talk and meet with us.
And you're going to see that there's going to be two different types of flyers circulating. So we have our town halls where we are giving you the next steps. And then we have our Know Your Rights trainings, which is where you're learning your constitutional rights and also learning your options. So we're going to try to also have some attorneys there to talk to you and talk about the different options that we talk about in our next steps. So please, please, please come out. On Saturday is our Know Your Rights training. I want to thank FLIC, Florida Immigrant Coalition. I did a training yesterday with FLIC on how to teach the Know Your Rights courses. So I will be teaching it. But they put in so much work. There's so many resources just in FLIC alone. So, and they show up to all of our town halls, even though we just started doing this on a whim. They show up because they care that much. So I want to thank them. I want to thank a lot of our attorneys and different organizations that just keep showing up. Um, we keep springing this on them last minute, and they're like, yes, they're meeting the moment. And that's what we need. We need people to meet the moment. And we're not going to stop. You're going to see us ramp up these town halls and these Know Your Rights trainings.
I think she froze, right? Naomi, did she freeze? Yeah, but she's right in saying that we're going to wrap it up because we have events that's coming up in West Park. We have events coming up in Lauderhill. We're working on dates in Fort Lauderdale. So we actually have the Lauderhill date set already, and that's going to be on July the 17th. So that's Thursday, July the 17th. We're going to be in Lauderhill at the CRA, and I have the address for that location. It's going to be at 1803. It's 1803. What is it? 1803 Northwest 38th Avenue in Lauderhill. So that's where that's where the TPS on TPS Next Steps is going to be. And it's not only about TPS. What it really is about folks who in the town halls are not for the undocumented to come. It's not for the undocumented to come. It's for the community folks, people who are have access to people who are undocumented, that they're gonna come get the information and they'll spread it out, right? So that ain't for if you know not sure, don't you come over there, right? We want residents, citizens to show up in order for them to go out and take that information. That's what the town halls are for, is to provide that information, that safe space for folks. So the next one is going to be in Lauderhill at 1803 Northwest 38th Street in Lauderhill. And that's on Thursday, July the 17th. And then we have the next one is going to be July 23rd in Pompano Beach. That's going to be at the E.Pet Larkins Community Center, which is 520 Northwest 3rd Street in Pompano Beach, right? So we have that. And we also have our West Park date. And we're going to be in West Park and that's going to be on a Tuesday, actually, July the 29th. And it's going to be at like Eric Jones's place on Hallandale, Pastor Jones's, I believe it's at his church in Hallandale Beach Boulevard. And that address is 4900 West Hallandale Beach Boulevard. And that is going to be on Tuesday, July 29th. And most of the events are going to start between 6 and 6:30. We're trying to keep it like below 90 minutes, but we do provide time in case the person has questions. So just look out for the flyers. And I almost feel like we need to get like a tour t-shirt like the artists do, like Beyonce tour date. She got the t-shirt with the dates and the cities and where she's gonna appear. So it seemed like we're getting booked and we're getting busy. And this is all volunteer work. Ain't nobody getting paid to do this, right? We're not getting paid to do this. So it's all volunteer work. And so I think we're gonna have to put out something with some tour dates on there so people can come and check us out in a city near you so the flyers aren't all over the place. So I think I've talked a lot. We're waiting to see for Christine. We'll come back in. but go ahead, Dr. Blamur. Talk a little bit about what those town halls are like. What's your feedback on how they are, and how, again, how it is that you see that is benefiting community and us.
So first and foremost, I think that it is taking away a lot of the what I would say of the complexity of navigating immigration. Like Christine said, navigating the immigration process, excuse me. Like Christine stated, Flick has been doing a phenomenal job bringing forth resources and real live information that is helping us to really assist them, and assist them individually, meaning everyone is in the room, but the way they're breaking down in the information, you see yourself and you know what's good for you, and you're like, okay, this is me, I'm in this category, and they're gravitating to the information. And when it's time for a Q&A, you see them really speaking about their personal issue, and they're pulling from what was said to connect and say, okay, I see how this can help me. That's number one. Number two, I'm really moved by the attorneys that are showing up, the mental health licensed social workers that are coming out. I'm really moved by the financial advisors, people who are in mortgage, that are coming up, and they're giving information that the people in the room are just eating it up, because it's just like, yes, this is exactly where I'm at and this is what I need. Thirdly, I want to thank the media. I mean, they have been consistently showing up way before the events, and putting it on social media, putting it on television, inviting the people to come out. And so it's really been a group effort. Not one person is doing more than the other. Everyone is doing what is in their capacity to do, and together we're delivering something of great value for the Haitian American community. And at this point, I'm just looking forward to us, doing it in the Nicaraguan community, doing it in what's
The
the other
Honduran
country?
community.
The
And let me
Honduran
let me
community.
so not to cut you off, but just let you know, like the event we did yesterday, we had people from Venezuela there, we had people from Colombia there, we had Brazilian folks there, we had people from Haiti, the Bahamas, all different types of folks. So we called them the Haitian TPS, like, because that's what motivated us to go ahead and move on. But we're moving from that and calling it Next Steps, because it's really something that helps all of those migrant communities, because we're telling you, giving you information and next steps for anyone who can find themselves in this situation where they have to figure out how they need to change their status in order for them to stay, or start reconciling themselves with the fact that they may not be able to stay in the United States. So this is not information that only benefits Haitian folks. This is anybody that knows someone, loves someone, is involved in the life of a person who is undocumented or documented, but have to figure out another status in order for them to be able to stay.
Yeah, and lastly, what I'll say is that I'm just learning a lot myself. I believe that, as children of immigrants, we know our mom's story, we know our dad's story, we know the story of our cousins and our uncles, but we may never have necessarily in our time lived it so close, where people are in fear and people are concerned. And I remember the last one where we went, and just talking about preparedness for your children. And I mean, like, I was just so emotional because I'm just like, man, there are people here who have children and they don't know how they're going to move forward. They don't know how to prepare, or they're just like, man, I thought that I was actually gonna obtain the American dream, and right now I'm being railroaded, and I just don't even know where to begin. And so it has really humbled me, I can say personally, just causing me to understand that I'm privileged. I'm privileged, and just really thanking God that, in I'm not going to say when in the 70s, but in the 70s, my mom made it here, and my dad, and they had me here and on American soil. And I am blessed. I'm blessed to have been able to get an education, get have 2 degrees. It's just like you feel like, oh, you're American, you got your ducks in a row, you're trying to get that person, you're trying to get the secure the bag, and and you feel like, oh, this is what it's all about. And when people are just grabbing on for dear life, literally. So that's where I'm at. I'm just really grateful.
All right, Christine, go
So
ahead. Go ahead.
I want to apologize. I've got a dog barking in the background. I'll be off and on mute. Um, so I wanted to say this. There's a lot going on in the streets, and people are angry and upset. Call us to come and have a town hall at your job, at your in your neighborhood. We will come. I'm telling you right now, it will change your entire perspective. You don't know what you don't know, right? And once you sit down with us, it won't make you feel like yes, you need to take to the streets, but it'll make you feel a little bit more at ease. So if you have an area where we can gather, please contact us so that we can hold a town hall near you.
Thank you, Christine. And I think that's very important that we want to say to the community, we are available to you. We are available. The town halls have a very detailed structure to them. We have specific, I think, 7 next steps that we go through. We have licensed attorneys, we have mental health counselors, all of them are licensed social workers. We have organizations that have been doing this for decades, decades. As I said earlier, I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm just like, wow, I didn't know what I didn't know. Right. And so it's the panel is always made up 3 to 4 different experts in different fields. Of course, immigration law being one of the main ones. And they just give their heart. They give free information, right? And they're even giving free consultation. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. There are some of the town halls, if you want it to be private and you do not want it to be, aired, and you don't want anyone there except for those that are in your care, I'll say it like that. That's fine. We have no problem with that. And I actually like those intimate settings, and they are shown to be really, really valuable. And so, listen, let's get the job done.
Because Christine started off that everything doesn't have to be shown. People don't know all the things we did. We had several events this week, and it wasn't posted anywhere. It wasn't posted on social media. You didn't see no pictures. We were getting home at 11 o'clock at night after like working all day. You know what I mean? Roughing that traffic for like an hour and a half. One of the places I went to, I was like, listen, I feel like I just went out of town like today because it was like literally across town from me, right? So yeah, so we're doing that work. You can reach that, like Naomi said, reach out to us privately and we'll come. Like everything don't have to be in the streets. Everybody don't gotta know. We know how to move in silence and provide that information. And the ones that are for the public, again, those are for the residents and the citizens and the people who what we want them to come get that information and take it back to community, because a lot of people are afraid, right? And in one of the events, we had a person that was like, I'm an American and I ain't got no problems. I'm like, you got problems too, because they're trying to strip Americans of their citizenship. They're trying to take away birthright citizenship. It's a whole bunch of stuff. And then, not even on that part. The point that I want to make is that we meaning everybody, any and everybody that's in the United States, cannot be comfortable, cannot be okay with the process that's being used to put people in this situation, right? So even if you're an American and you're not worried about them putting you in one of these camps, they're violating people's due process rights, right? On this particular issue, they can find another issue to do the same to your American self, okay? So don't go into no room talk about, oh, I'm an American, I'm safe, I'm protected, because our conversations are not just about that issue. It's about the process that's being used in order to put people in these fearful, inhumane type situations. And that's part of the conversation. So, come out to the town hall, get that information. It's extremely useful. And again, and this is not a vanity project. We've come to find out that this was the thing that a lot of people didn't even know they needed, right? And we didn't even really understand or know that they needed us to have these conversations too. So just as much as the audience gets something from it, I get something from it like every single time. Like I get something from it like every single time. So who got next?
I
So
think that Christine, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was gonna ask about how everything went today with you, Sandra.
So I can't talk about all of the details what happened, because that happened with the job that pays me, right? And I don't let people know where I work. So, but listen, Kristen, you've been there before. Won't you talk about what that experience was like? Because our experience was pretty much similar, even though I had a different reason for being there, but we had the similar experience. So go ahead and talk about what that place is like when you roll up in there.
Oh, we haven't talked about it, have we? I don't think so. So I
Probably
I
not. Go
went
ahead.
down to Alligator Alcatraz because Trump was supposed to be there, and so there was like a huge protest happening, and I parked literally next to the swamp to the point that I was nervous because I'm like, I should check under my car for an alligator just before I go into my car because that's how close I was. It was it was like humid and just mosquitoes everywhere. It was the worst. But they had armed security there, like with guns, and I felt like I was at a base, like a military base. It was scary. But the Proud Boys showed up, and uh, things were brewing. I didn't feel comfortable anymore, and so I decided to leave. But no one should be there. It's literally in the middle of nowhere. There's no, even if an ambulance wanted to get someone to a hospital, there's nothing there. So and it rained. When I left, it rained that day and it flooded inside of Alligator Alcatraz. So it's like, who can even live there comfortably? So that was my experience. I was really disgusted by the whole situation.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that part. And so the one thing I will say, that I will say, because I can't talk about my actual experience there, but people go there to take pictures with the sign. I'm like, y'all think this is cute? Yeah, there were people who were pulling over on the side of the road, and I've seen it like on social media, but I actually saw it in person. People drove all the way out there to go take pictures with the sign to say that they came to this place. That is nothing anybody should be proud of. Like when I tell you, that is nothing anyone should be proud of. And I am going to say, and I think I can say this without it being an issue, when I left there, all I kept thinking was like, there's no way. Okay, I don't want to say no way. I want to understand how the people who are responsible for this, what conversation they're going to have with God. What kind of conversation are you going to have with God to explain why you thought this was something that you should do to your fellow man, right? And so I'm like, well, maybe they don't think they're going to meet God and they ain't got to explain themselves. And so that's why this is okay. But I just drove there like, how you gonna explain this to the Lord? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not a super religious person. Like, I probably should be because I grew up in church and we used to go to church 2 times a day and 3 times on Sunday, right? So I literally I grew up in the church and, kind of, you go away from it. But all I could think about, like, what are you going to tell the Lord when you meet your maker about how you thought that this was something that you should do to people? I don't, what's that conversation going to be like? It's
You are
wild.
so right. You are so right. And I think that we don't look at it as what we're doing to our fellow brother and our fellow sister. But you know what? That's going to be the conversation with the Lord. And I think that we're living in a time where, and the Bible says this, that the heart of man is going to grow desperately wicked. I mean, like there's just going to be no good in their hearts. And we're literally seeing it. And it's unfortunate that we are seeing it. And we actually have seen it in other countries, right? If we're going to be honest. I think that seeing this type of movement on US soil is very sobering and is causing I definitely someone like me to ask myself, is this what I believe in? Is this what being an American is supposed to be? Are we supposed to do this to one another, knowing that at one point in time, your forefather, they were immigrants too? And it's just mind boggling how just 3, 4 generations maybe removed that you're just like so out of it. And even for the president, it's not 3 generations removed. He's like his dad and his grandfather. It's just like right there, right? And it's just like, oh my God, where are you in your mind that you don't no longer see yourself connected to those looking for opportunity? Like what happened to you that you no longer see yourself connecting to those ideals, those values, um those and what we thought were shared values. And I think this is what's really bugging me out, because I thought that these were shared values of Americans, because we know, yeah, I may be born here, but somebody actually either ran from where they were or just made a decision to say, okay, I'm going to go search for better. And coming here was better for them. And I think it's very rare that you hear of an immigrant story that, oh, all was well. And, we were living the great life. And I just decided that I was just going to pick up and leave everything behind and come to a country that I know nothing about.
So
That's
can I
not the
tell you though?
story.
Okay, so you said you never heard that, but can I tell you? So for us, so my parents are from Haiti. So they left Haiti and went to the Bahamas. We were living better in the Bahamas than we ever lived here in terms of like my parents. They were good. You understand what I'm saying?
No, and
But
I think
no, 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 I'm
that's
just
where the difference is.
yeah.
Leaving Haiti, going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Technically, they made a life
Yeah,
in the
they made a life.
Bahamas.
But yeah, well, they like I'm saying, so they're like they immigrated. So I heard Delphine Gervais said it's like her parents are two-time immigrants. Like they immigrated to 2 different countries because they went to another country before they came to the States. So my parents did that. They went to another country and then they came to the States because this is what people are shocked about America about, right? Because America advertises for people to come here. You understand what I'm saying? Like they say, come. They advertise. They telling everybody to come here. This is the land of opportunity. Bring us your, you know what the Statue of Liberty said. I can't quote it like right now, but bring us your tired, your weak, your this, your that. America is always advertising, telling people to come in their country, right? And so people did that. So you invited them to come. They
They
came,
believed
and
you.
this is what you decide to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I think people are so shocked, because there are a lot of places that are very homogenous. They're like, okay, you could come visit. You got 2 weeks and you need to go about your business. We don't want you living here, right? There are countries and cultures that are like that. They're like, nah, nah, nah. So now more and more people are maybe moving to places, but they're not inviting nobody to come live in their place like this country does. This country markets like they got a whole campaign telling people from all over the world, come on, Vini, we welcome you. And then they come and this is what they do. And I think that's the part that people haven't been able to, they don't get it. They're like, but y'all told us to come here. We got here and then this is what we're doing.
Okay,
So that's the part I think is an issue.
ladies, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes,
Yes?
yes, yes, yes. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. These are the descendants of lynchers. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Who's shocked? They used to hang black people from trees. They used to cut pregnant women, cut their belly, and take out their baby in front of people to teach. They would kill their men in front of them. What are you talking about? In America, the people that are running our country now, they are white supremacists. They are the KKK. This nobody should be shocked. The only thing that's shocking is that we let them get into power. The problem is that the people that have been in power before.
Oh man, we lost Christina. She was about to give us a word, right? She was absolutely about to give her a word. But maybe that's God working, because they're like, listen, we all about to get in trouble about what Christine was about to say. Oh my God. Because she was about to go
You
in.
know,
But it's
You
a
know what I
word.
was
It's
gonna
a
tell
word.
you? You
Huh?
know what you just explained about your family coming from Barbados?
No,
Excuse
Bahamas,
me,
Bahamas,
from
Bahamas.
Bahamas.
Yes.
Excuse me, Bahamas. You know, I've heard a lot of those stories with the people who are coming from Chile.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they had good jobs
Mm-hmm.
and they had settled. Some of them even had businesses. You're right, you know, and I didn't think of that, but you're right. Sometimes in the Haitian community, we've settled two different places,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of the day, when they leave Haiti and they get to that first place, they work hard. They put everything they have to build something, and they
Mm-hmm.
are successful. And I think that for some of them, even during the summer, so Christine's dad owns a pretty good size security firm, and we had advertised that he had positions open and things like that. And while we were doing interviews, some of the young men, they said, you know what, I should have just stayed in Chile.
Mm-hmm.
They literally said that. They're like, they had come to a place of stability. But again, like you just said, America advertised, and they thought, you know, if this is good here, wait, you know, it could be a
Mm-hmm.
little better. So let
Mm-hmm.
me go for more. Let me
Mm-hmm.
go to obtain more opportunity. And that's not what they got.
Yeah, that's
That's not what
and
they got.
Christine looks like she wants to come on. I don't know. We don't see her face yet, but she's gonna come back on. And that's the thing. Like it really is one of those things. Because again, it advertised, no, come, you're gonna have opportunity. Now let me not sound ungrateful. I don't want to say I don't want to sound ungrateful, because my parents made their decision to come here for their children to get educated and do all of that, and they managed to do that. All five of us graduated from high school. Four of us have college degrees. Three of us have postgraduate degrees. You know what I'm saying? I got way more. I got a little more degrees than I probably should have, and I would go get some more if they would let me go. You know what I mean? But so the reasons why my parents made that second migration to another country was for their children to have opportunities, and I have it. So I do not want to sound ungrateful, and I appreciate everything America has done. And that not has done, continues to do. What I want is for America to continue to be this great place that it can be. Y'all ain't got to be that. Y'all ain't got to be that. Y'all do not. When I say y'all, I'm talking about all these Americans that supporting a lot of this foolishness, right? These dudes that are making these decisions, somebody hurt them, okay? And they're just taking that frustration out on everybody else because they have not figured out how to take it out on the people that hurt them. And we should not buy into this thing of hurt people hurting people, okay? So, because this cannot be, come on, like what you messing with me for? You don't even know me from a can of paint, right? So you're acting out on something. We need to find out who that Afro-Latina is that hurt Stephen Miller. Who is she? Who are you, ma'am, that you broke Stephen Miller's heart, okay? So just go holler at the man, go apologize, go find out what he needs for him to be better so he can leave everybody else alone because somebody hurt that dude, okay? And now his wife going to left and going to work for Elon Musk, so he might get his heart broken again. So white women, y'all might get it because if she going there to leave him, he gonna find something to come for you next, okay? So we need to find out who this Afro Latina is
Sandra, you
that
are
hurt.
a
I'm
mess.
serious. I am serious when I say this. I need to find out who that Afro Latina is that broke Stephen Miller's heart, that got him on this vengeance tour, that he's out here just driving everybody crazy, okay? Because this is nothing but
Crazy.
hurting people. Because it doesn't make sense. There's no logic in what they're doing. It doesn't make money for them. It just doesn't make sense. You're losing labor. It doesn't make sense. So this is all of a hurt person who can't get out of their feelings, making that has power, and they're abusing, not using, they're abusing their power to try to feel better about getting hurt.
You know what, Sandra? While we're talking about that, I think this is how we can close out. I
Yes.
I know I called you directly, so we
Yes.
we we got this little viral video going, or viral clips going around where people are telling the Haitians that the people
Oh my goodness, there must be like some sort of power outage happening in Dade County because both of my co-hosts are out of Dade County and they are having some internet problems. So I might end up with some internet problems too. So I'm gonna give, my other co-hosts about like 10, 30 seconds to see if they about 30 seconds to see if they come back on. And as Dr. Blamur says, this is how we're gonna close this show out. I need people to really just start thinking about how it is that you can get involved, how it is that you can engage, how it is that you can just do one thing to help someone to just make this a little bit better. We need you to reach out to your electeds. And so she's back. So go ahead. I was running my mouth trying to let you give you some time to get back on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. I'm so
Yes.
sorry there was a call coming in. So
Oh, okay,
please,
okay, okay.
let's just put this to rest. Let's put it to bed. Please let the sponsors know that there is no legal basis for DHS to come after them. They can rest, they can calm down. Ne pas besoin faire tension moun yo monter pour yo penser que gon bagay mal qui pral passe yo because they sponsored someone to come here with the for the Biden program.
Right, and it was a lawful program. So it was they like she said, they didn't do anything wrong. They had to provide their documentation. It was the law that allowed them to do that. So you can't retroactively go punish someone for something that the law actually allowed them to do. I see Christine is coming back on. We're gonna bring her on the stage and we will start wrapping up the show because we're almost at the top of the hour anyway. Go ahead, Christine. Go ahead and get that history lesson in right quick before we gotta end the show.
I don't know if I can. I have internet outage, so it keeps. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? You can't.
Yes.
You can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can't. Okay.
Yeah.
What I was saying, what I was saying is that these are the descendants of the original lynchers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is not your average Republican that we're dealing with. It's not even about a political party. This
Mm-hmm.
is like This is a culture. These are the same, their great, 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 great grandparents are the same ones that would hang black people on trees as a sport, okay? And that they would cut pregnant black women, pull their babies out in front of the man to let him know who's the boss. Okay? These are the people that burned down villages when black people had Black Wall Street and they were doing good for themselves. That's these people's great 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 grandparents that burned down villages. Do you know that there was a time where Congress had black people in it? Black, there
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like two
After, yeah,
two black
during
people. Anyways,
Reconstruction. It was 2.
yeah,
Yeah.
they trapped these black people in a building and burned that building down. Okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is we're seeing things and we're shocked. These people, their ancestors are living inside that hate. They've passed down that kind of hate where they don't care about human life. They care about the absence of whiteness because there's too many of their white sons that are shacking up with these beautiful black women, these beautiful Hispanic women. They having these beautiful babies, and all of a sudden, their whiteness is becoming the minority, and they are scared of that. You see what that lady said? That lady, the Secretary of Agriculture, she said, no, 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 no. Well, there's no amnesty for the farm workers. We're gonna automate that. And those 34 million people that are on Medicaid, they can fill those spots too. Because now they're gonna put a requirement for you to receive Medicaid that you have to work a certain amount of hours.
So they
They're
kind of
trying to
already
say,
did that. They kind of already did that. That's not something new. They've done that before, where people had to either go into some sort of training program, take a class, learn a skill in order for you to get services. So that idea is not nothing new. So I don't want to. I don't. And the reason why I said it, because I don't want to give the impression that that's another one of the evil things that the administration is doing. But that idea isn't new. They've done that before, and most people would
no,
support that. Go ahead. They, but this is
no,
what the
but it's
this is.
it. No, but that what I'm saying is what I'm
Mhm.
saying is they're painting the picture that we don't need the immigrants. It's not even about the them making those on Medicaid work. What I'm
Uh-huh.
saying is they're trying to show you that through automation and through making people work that we don't need the
Oh,
immigrants.
that's
They're
not
not
true.
necessary.
Yeah, that's not true. And that's the part where, we've said this before, is that whoever's advising them, they're not giving them the right kind of advice, because clearly they
Of
don't
course.
understand how American people operate. Them people ain't about to go on nobody's farm. They'll be like, y'all can have y'all check, okay? Because we ain't going. Them people will go sell blood and plasma first before they go and, work on a farm and pick lemons and strawberries and whatever kind of thing you're talking about. That's hard backbreaking work, okay? For very little pay, because I think you got to get paid by the load or something, okay? So yeah, they gonna get a real rude awakening and understand that their labor pool is not about to do that job. Those people will go sell blood and plasma before they go do that. And that's real. So it's where
You
we at with.
mentioned you don't know who's advising them. You you mentioned like I don't know who's advising them. They're not. They're not advice. They have a plan and they put their plan in place. Project 25, that is their advisor to the
Yeah,
book. Right now,
yeah, so Kristen, you're breaking up now,
they are
but
ready.
yeah, so their project 2025 is very ill advised. That's all I'm gonna say. They could keep operating out of their space of hate, because that's all it is about. Is hate, and like we said earlier, somebody hurt them and now they're taking it out on everybody. But what is that? Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. So they're gonna have to answer to all of this. They're gonna have to answer to this, right? Not to us, but they're gonna have to answer to this. And I want to know what that conversation is going to be like and how they're going to explain themselves. That's where I'm at on it. So let's go ahead. Like, what's your closing remarks? What do you want to let the people know before they see us again next week? because we actually have a town hall next Thursday in the city of Lauderhill. So we're either going to go live from there, or once we're done, we may do a late show. So the ladies will decide how we handle that. So what are your last words before we close out tonight?
So really quickly, my last words is number one, follow the race and the races. So when we go live, you will know, and you might not have an opportunity to get to the town hall, but you can watch what we are actually giving those in attendance, and maybe you can get some information that can help someone that you love, that you care about, or that you know is going through this difficult time. That's number one. Number two, again, we want to thank all media outlets in South Florida that has just been present. Channel 10, Channel 6. You guys have been doing, Channel 4 have been doing
Mhm.
such a phenomenal job. We want to thank all our mental health providers, Jessica, Lady Delphine Jervis, thank you so very much. Our attorneys, Ron Surin, Natalie Demesman, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. SEIU, thank you so very much. You guys have just been phenomenal. And of course, Flick, you guys just hit it. It's a home run every single time. And we just want to say thank you. That's it.
All right, Christine.
I just want to invite everyone to come out Saturday, the Cats, at 1 o'clock for the Know Your Rights training.
You have the
And bring a
address to
friend.
Cats? I know it's 125th Street. Like, you have the address to Cats? So Cats it's in North Miami on 125th,
738.
between 7th and 8th Avenue, right? Between 7th and 8th Avenue on 125th Street is right off the main street. You can't miss it. And it's Cats, Katz, restaurant and lounge, Saturday at 1 o'clock from 1 to 3. And then we have another event in Lauderhill on the 17th. And we'll put those flyers out. The Cats flyer is already out. See you at the town hall. And for me, it's just like, let's just continue to create space, like continue to be supportive. People are afraid, but they just need to consult with an attorney, invest in an attorney, know what your options are, because you may have a lot of options out that's available to you. But you need to make that investment in order for you to have that. And that's kind of what we want to press on, and just, do that. So you'll be informed, and then you can make a very informed decision, and you can make an informed decision with very little stress, because you've given yourself time to prepare and put a plan together. All right. All right, ladies, another good night. Thank you so much. Let me play. So I have a different outro that's telling people to subscribe. So I'm going to play that outro, and see you guys later. Hey, y'all. Sandra Sheffner, host of Racing the Races. Go ahead. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel called Racing the Races. Subscribe to our TikTok page, Racing the Races, and like us on Facebook and Instagram, Racing the Races. Go ahead, support the page. I'm tired of getting crazy comments from these white dude trolls that's mad. Like, why y'all mad in the comments now? So come on, y'all. Those who are fans of the show, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, comment on the video. Tell us what else you would like to see, instead of me having to read all these trolling comments. But I see it as a compliment, because I showed up in their feed and I really don't know who they are. And since they're not challenging the content is good. They want to make personal attacks, but that's okay. So I need y'all to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page, subscribe to TikTok. All of it is called Racing the Races, and go ahead and like us on Facebook and Instagram.